while hanging on that cross, Jesus said several things. But when the thief taunted him and said, "If you be the Christ, come down from the cross and save yourself and us," to that taunt, Jesus never said a mumbling word. But the silence seemed to have said, "You just wait until Sunday morning, and I'll show you that it's better to come up out of a grave than it is to come down from a cross." And he dropped his head in the locks of his shoulder, and he died. I mean, he really died. Don't pay attention to a swoon theory. He died. Oh, he died until the sun refused to shine. He died until the veil in the temple was rent in twain. He died until Matthew says the dead got up out of the grave and walked the streets after the resurrection. He died. The centurion says, "Surely this must have been the Son of God." I'm trying to say he died, but I don't like it. I don't like to stay there talking about he died. I like to rush on and say he was buried in Joseph's new tomb. He was buried in a borrowed tomb. Now that used to bother me. The one who holds the waters in the hollow of his hand and meets out the heavens with a span, comprehends the dust and weighs the mountains in a scale and a hill in a balance. The one who walked on the brow of nothing and with a gesture of his hands worlds were formed. Scooped out the seas with the palm of his hand, dug deep the gorges, piled up the hills, and propped up the mountains by his will. The moon and stars lean on his arms, being buried in a borrowed tomb. Well, he wasn't going to stay there long, so a borrowed tomb with the... He just went down in that grave and stayed in the grave long enough to clean it out and make it a pleasant place to wait for the resurrection. And on schedule, he got up with every form of power in the orbit of his omnipotence. Jesus Christ is Lord. That Jesus Christ is Lord. You know, many say, "I've got a lot of living to do. I'll accept him as Savior, and I'll acknowledge him as Lord, but I've got a lot of living to do." You don't really live until you come to him who said, "I am come that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly." And then some I hear praying, "Lord, when I must go somewhere and crawl up in a dying bed and learn how to die." Brother, who told you you were going anywhere else? And who told you you were going to have the strength or the time to crawl up in a dying bed? And who told you you had to learn how to die? You learn how to live. And as you live, so you die. But I'm not going to wait, because borderline salvation is better than being lost, but that's too dangerous to risk. That's the reason the prophet said, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call on him while he's near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and he will have mercy to our God, for he will abundantly pardon." I'm not going to wait. I acknowledge him as my Lord now. The Lord is love, and his love is stronger than sin. It's deeper than sorrow, and it's mightier than death. The Lord is my light, the Lord is my strength. The Lord is my salvation, the Lord is my rock. The Lord is my fortress, the Lord is my deliverer. The Lord is my high tower. The Lord is my shield and my buckler. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know, this old world is a wilderness of want. We're always wanting something. A man will break his health down trying to get well. And then he'll turn around, spend his wealth trying to get his health back. If it isn't one thing, it's another. From the rocking in the cradle to the folding in the grave, something is always running out. If your bank account gets low, then your blood pressure gets high. If you've got money, your health breaks down. If you've got a job, your eyesight gets dim. If you've got food on your table, your faith gets weak. If it's not your enemies bothering you, it's your so-called friends. If it's not your kinfolk mooching off of you, it's your church folk. And while you're building up over here, it's falling apart over there. But the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. A little girl was asked to recite this verse, and she said, "The Lord is my shepherd, and that's all I want." They said she's wrong. I said she's right. The Lord is my shepherd, and that's all I want. I shall not want for rest, for he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. I shall not want for refreshment, for he leadeth me beside the still waters. I shall not want for forgiveness, for he restoreth my soul. I shall not want for guidance, for he leadeth me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. I shall not want for companionship, for yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me. I shall not want for comfort, for thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I shall not want for sustenance or provision, for thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. I shall not want for joy, for thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. I shall not want for anything in this life, for goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I shall not want for anything in the life to come, for I'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I didn't say I'll camp or tent or tabernacle, but I'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I'll dwell in a land where we'll never grow old. I'll dwell out there where the silence of eternity is interpreted by love. I'll